Hello, hi, welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Cancer in October 2020. How are you doing, Cancer? What is going on? Hopefully, wherever you are in the world right now, my friends, you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, as we're still very much dealing with all that 2020 has to offer, okay? Anyway, Cancer, welcome to your October reading. Happy Halloween if you're going to be celebrating at the end of the month. I hope you are, if you are celebrating, please do so safely and have a good time and all that good stuff. If you come across like some Twix, have some for me. That's like my favorite candy bar. Yeah, if you're celebrating with your family, your friends, and your children or anything like that, please have a wonderful, wonderful time, okay? No other announcements, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Cancer, shuffle it off camera. That's your spread there. Anything that you want from me is going to be in the description box below, so if you want to see the timestamp, it is down there. You can utilize it. That's what I put it there for. You can find the information that you need to order a personal reading with me down in the description box as well. If you have any questions before you place an order, just go ahead and email me at the same address and I'll answer you as soon as I can. And if you're interested in doing donations to the channel, you can use the PayPal link or the Cash App link that is also down there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, the link is down there as well in the description box. EmpathicFire Tarot on Instagram if you're interested, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. I want to see the outcome for Cancer in October 2020. Outcome for Cancer in October 2020, please. I was going to say, am I going to have to pick? But no, I don't. The bottom of the deck is the overall energy. And everything came face up except for you, little guy, in the bottom center. So let's see what's shaking down here. Okay. Alright. It's going to bother me. Alright, it actually looks pretty okay, so we're going to go with it. Oh no, you're out of order. See? I looked too closely and it's like the one thing I'm like OCD about in my life is the look of these cards on the camera. Anyway, let's get into it, Cancer. Where is Cancer in October 2020? Please show me Cancer, October 2020. Please show me where. We got there, I think. It's a little mixed because it was between two places, but I think we're going to start here. Oh, wow. Now, isn't that fun? This has turned into a twofer spot. Great. So I'm definitely going to have to move some things around here. Give me a second. Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to do it pretty quickly. I'm not going to bother with the top. It's just going to be what it is. Okay, so now you have a twofer, which I had no idea about. Wow. That's interesting. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Okay. Maybe that's why I was feeling like caught between two positions. Maybe because this spot held two cards behind it. So anyway, Cancer, you start the reading with the Hanged Man and the King of Cups. All right then. Making your mind up about a water sign maybe. King of Cups is associated with water sign energy, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, this could be you. But I feel like things are like on a delay with this person. They could be delayed, they could be held up in some type of way, or again, if this is you, same applies, you're held up, you're delayed. It's very interesting, or, okay, thank you, or this is awakening to some type of emotional truth, some type of emotional revelation or understanding or acceptance, interesting, or acceptance. Hangman energy, secondary major arcana for Pisces, so if you are not dealing with another water sign, this could be very like pivotal for you if you have a lot of water in your own chart, but it feels like whoever this person is, they have a lot of emphasis on their emotions right now, their emotional body, their emotional intelligence perhaps, or just how they're they're in their feels, or they're very concentrated on what they're feeling. And I think possibly, okay, thank you. I did mention the word acceptance, but then I also mentioned this idea of like delays. And another way that we can think of delays when we see the hangman is reconsideration, right? Becoming aware of or thinking of things or perceiving things in a new way. So this could be someone is reevaluating how they feel, or reevaluating and reconsidering how they feel about a specific person. It's going in so many different ways. So if any of that resonates with you, I'm happy to continue, and or happy that the message has come for you. But this feels like, this feels like really concentrated on a specific person and the feelings that are shared with, or going out towards the feelings that someone possesses for another person, or these are the emotions, the feelings, and just how complex that can be for the self, like reconciling your own emotions about a person, or excuse me, not even a person, about life in general, I suppose. Um, the hangman is really giving me this vibe of like bitterly, bitterly in this position of reconsidering, like not wanting to do this, not wanting to be here, not wanting to be delayed, not wanting to be in the feels, and kind of, um, yeah, just like not wanting to look at it. Maybe some of you are saying that to someone, like, I can't even look at you right now. I don't even want to see you. Maybe that's it. And the hangman isn't necessarily about rejection. It's not, purposely telling someone, get out of my face, or, don't talk to me. I mean, maybe that's how it's manifested, but really what the hangman is isolation. Getting into a zone where you are dealing with things in your own time, on your own pace, or or the pace of the universe, which is why often it's uncomfortable, right? Because if we do anything at our own pace, it's usually because, or excuse me, that should indicate that that's comfortable, whether we're going really, really fast or really, really slow. I did mention the word delay a few times now. So some of you don't want to be delayed. Some of you don't want to be thinking about this person or thinking about your feelings. But for whatever reason, you are doing that. Could be self-imposed, could be, the circumstances that you find yourself in. If you're in a working relationship or a family situation with someone and you have to see them, you're kind of forced to think about them, because I feel that when you get to the hangman energy, it kind of, when you're dangling upside down by the ankle, you kind of don't have any other options but to be focused on whatever's in front of you, right? Or whatever you're dealing with in the moment. You can't get up and walk away unless you're a vampire or a bat or something. I don't think you can sleep very well in a position that the hangman is in. So there's a lot of discomfort around coming to some type of realization, or even just in the process of the reconsideration, right? The King of Cups as a card on its own, I do get the sense that for some of you, this is like a father figure in your life, could be your actual dad or just an older male figure. And that's very rare that I say something specifically about gender. It's not going to be that for everybody. It doesn't have to be a man, but in many of your cases, you are looking at and considering how you feel about a particular male in your life. This particular person, male or not, but for many of you, it's coming across so strongly that he is a man, that we're talking about a man. For some of you, this person, you can't figure them out. You don't know what he feels or what they feel, or how they observe you, or how they observe you. Interesting. You don't understand how they see you. Like, do they really like me? Do they really feel these ways for me? Or am I just making it up? Is it all in my head? Did they ever care about me? If this is like, again, a family member, or even like an ex, or just a really good friend of yours, like, does he really think I'm, not worthy, but like, how does he value me? How does this person value me? Like, what are their true feelings? Because the King of Cups traditionally in tarot isn't overly expressive with emotions, but does have a mastery over his own emotions, and usually doesn't allow himself to drown in his sorrows, or drown in his emotions, I should say, not even his sorrows. So if this guy was like high energy and always happy all the time, he doesn't let that rule his life. And again, I'm really sticking very hard with the use of he. And if you're new to my channel, this is so rare that I'm like hardcore feeling actual male, you know, gender aside, you know, any whatever aside, it can be a woman that I'm talking about, but for the majority of this energy, this person is in the shape of a man. Whatever that means to you, whoever that is in your life, that's how it comes across. And again, they can be of significance to you as far as being a father, an older, you know, male mentor or boss or something like that. And they have a good grasp on, like, they're not, like, you know, they have emotions because they're a human being, and most of us are not, you know, palling around with a bunch of psychopaths or sociopaths. So they have some type of emotion, but there's an uncertainty of where it begins, where it ends, how intensely or how strongly do they feel for you. Like, there's a whole bunch of who knows what. And if I'm not talking about an external person, male or not, I'm talking about you. You don't know, Cancer. You are unsure. And the time, the circumstance, the time, the situations that you find yourself in, either on your own or in relationship to this person, it's really magnifying everything. Like, you can't escape thinking about them. You can't escape processing what you feel. It's very interesting. So what else happens? Let's figure it out. And that was so interesting that these came out like stacked on top of one, stacked on top of the other. That was interesting. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, that explains a lot. Now that I see the full bottom line there, that explains a lot. Cancer, some of you have been in a situation with a person. It doesn't have to be romantic, but for those where it applies, you already know that. I'm not, you know, breaking any, it's not breaking news to you. I'm not, you know, telling you anything you don't know. But this connection has been difficult because of all the uncertainty. And okay, some of you guys are dealing with a person that you've spent lifetimes with, and that could contribute to the confusion of things. But to be honest, at this moment, this connection is not happening. Lovers in reverse. You or them or both of you together have decided to do a splitsies or like a timeout, or, you know, you're not speaking to each other. Basically, you've decided to not pursue something with this person. Or they've decided not to pursue something with you. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic. This could be, you know, friends who aren't talking at the moment, friends who, you know, are in a fight, in a tiff or something like that. But with this lovers in the reverse, I feel as though in some of your minds or their minds or whoever, there's like a deep sorrow or a deep disappointment that it's gotten to this point of no communication or sudden misunderstandings and not really being able to come to an understanding with one another. It feels really like I said before with the hangman, the word isolated came out. I feel like this is isolated and or iced out. Like maybe ghosting is involved here. Lovers is a major arcana for Gemini, so some of you could be dealing with a Gemini at this time. I'll show you this upright just so you can get a little bit better look at it in case I haven't used this deck on my videos for a little while, so you might not be familiar with it. But anyway, it feels like whatever type of partnership you have with this person, and all partnerships have to be agreed upon, right? You can't force a person to be with you or stand by your side or be a good friend to you or be a confidant of you or anything like that. It's always both partners have to choose. And I feel as though there was a point where the choice was yes, yes, like both people ticked the box. Do you want to be in partnership? Yes, yes. Both parties checked that box or those boxes, right? Not so much anymore. It feels like, and it's strange, I'm not sensing like a breakup. I mean, in some of your cases, it is a breakup. If it was a marriage, it might end in a divorce, this is not a card when it's in the reverse that signals divorce, but that's just the energy that I'm sensing here. Or maybe that's why I'm not able to get it like fully separated, because maybe this is a contested divorce or a contested separation. This is, again, one of you might not actually agree that the time apart is necessary. And if I'm not, yes, because I know it's down there. Yes, okay, that makes sense. So this is possibly for some of you what I call a hit back relationship. Like, I'm gonna hit you back. I'm gonna call you back. I'll be back. That type of thing, where you are in this revolving door, merry-go-round, Ferris wheel, loop-de-loo kind of thing with one person. Now, that could be in this particular lifetime, because I already mentioned it, and I know we're going to talk about it, but it's not coming up yet, but we will talk about it. If it's not particularly one person in your life right now, it's with several people. This is a pattern for several of you guys. And it's possibly in this lovers in the reverse position and the hangman, these two energies might be working in cahoots to make you or them or both of you wake up to something, realize something, become enlightened, as the hangman usually indicates, because his head is illuminated, right? The brightest part of this card is surrounding this guy's skull. So, well, head, it's not really a skull, but you know what I mean. So you're encouraged, Cancer, both you and this person, or just one of you separately, to wake up to something, realize something. And I believe it feels much like a pattern. You've been going around and around and around with the same person for 20 years, some of you, right? This person you met in high school, you dated for a while, one of you went to college, the other one didn't, and you thought that was the end. You come back home from college, maybe you move in together, but you break up. And then you get back together, you have a kid together, then you break up. You know, whatever your story is. And I'm not judging, but I feel there's a fatigue here. Yes, there's a fatigue here. There's like a, what the fuck is this? Why is this happening? Why can't we get on the same page? Why can't we be truly aligned? There's a misalignment here, and I don't know where it is, whether it's with you or him or her or both of you. Most likely it's both of you, okay? And if it's just like incompatible, like, okay, that's the wrong word. Let me take that back. I take that back so hard. Not incompatible. You guys probably are compatible. That's why you keep coming back together. Either in several lifetimes or just this one, you keep coming back to each other, yeah? So there is some type of compatibility, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily healthy or helpful or allowing you or them to grow, to ascend, to become enlightened, right? The compatibility might be you're meant to learn something from this person and then end the lesson and part ways. It's sort of like, it's okay. I kind of used a school analogy the other day, but I'm going to use another one now. It's like repeating the same grade over and over and over again. Eventually, of course, in real life, hopefully they would allow you to graduate and move the hell on. Nobody wants a 25-year-old stuck in high school, do they? But it's like that. It's like you keep coming back year after summer school and everything like that, and you think you're ready to pass these grades or pass these courses, and you don't. Every time the end of the semester or end of the school year is up, you get the notice, you'll be coming back and repeating the same damn coursework. And so I think one or both of you is catching on to that pattern. One or both of you are aware that when we're together, it works for a minute, but then it doesn't work. But then I miss you and you miss me and we come back together and it's wonderful. But and maybe that's a lesson. I'm not here to say what specifically the lesson is, but maybe it's a maybe this is not the best word, but maybe it's also true. There might be a high that you guys get off of each other, like and that's how drugs work, right? You get the high, you feel good, and then you crash. And then you're like, never again. Or you immediately fiend even though you're in the dumps. You feel like crap. You know, you realize you don't have any money because you spent it all on the drugs. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like you and this person have that kind of magnetic pull to each other that is similar to an addiction. And we can be addicted to anything, right? The brain really just works off of chemicals, right? So whether it's a substance or whether it's a biochemical high that you get from being in contact with a person, sharing time and intimacy with a person, that's all come on. That's all possible. Now, why did I get excited? Number one, this is not the card of addictions. However, this is the card of illusions. The moon card. The card of addictions is the devil card, just for those who may or may not know. But this is the card of illusions, the Pisces, the moon card, which is major arcana for Pisces. That's 3 times potentially for Pisces here, okay? Pisces, secondary, water sign energy, King of Cups, and now the moon card. So if you're dealing with a Pisces, I didn't do their reading yet, so it might not be worth watching, but, you know, feel affirmed if you're messing around with the Pisces. Illusions. The moon card is a card where we can convince ourselves of just about anything. You know, it's mysterious, it's foggy, it's possibly full of, I don't want to say lies, but like masquerades, like maybe that's a little bit of a older idea, but like a costume party. Oh, Halloween's coming up. If you're going to a costume party and that Pisces is going to be there, you know, be strong if you know you're going to come in contact with this person. And the energy of the moon is also dreamy. It's full of fantasy. It's pleasure seeking, right? When we're in the moon card and you know, now I'm getting like that song. I'm getting like a, what's that old 80s song? The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night, right? Under the light of the moon, people do all sorts of things. You know, that's when people who have addictions stereotypically are roaming the streets trying to find their hits or whatever. Or people that are up to, you know, those seeking pleasure. Whatever that means, you know, if that just means I want to go down to the bar and kick it with my friends, no illicit drugs, no sexual anything going on, nothing, just have a good time. You know, most people, you do that in the nighttime. Hey, meet me down at the bar, say about 8 o'clock. Nobody, you know, wakes up at, you know, 7:45. I'll see you down at the bar at 8 a.m. We're going to, you know, knock a couple buds back or whatever. No, it's like those times where you try to escape, where you're seeking pure pleasure, enjoyment, fun, festivities is in the nighttime. And I feel this connection that you have with this person, Cancer, is like that. When you guys come together, it's like the sparks fly, the passion is high, the sex, if this is a sexual connection or a romantic connection, is amazing, okay? I definitely feel that. And if it's, yes, and it doesn't even have to be amazing, like acrobatic or anything. It doesn't have to be like tantric sex or anything. It's the, yes, the emotional thing you guys have together. It's very interesting, you know. And this is, you know, one of the cards in tarot that people will often label as a soulmate card, the Lover's card, right? So, like I said before, some of you have a deep spiritual connection with a person in this lifetime, and or you've known them before in other lifetimes. And the thing about it is you're compatible, but your compatibility is so you may learn a lesson. And honestly, Cancer, it feels like you're meant to learn a lesson so that you can finally detach from each other. In many of your cases, you need to learn a lesson in this lifetime that will finally allow you guys to go your separate ways, spiritually speaking. Because, yeah, they're letting me know. For many of you, they don't choose you, you don't choose them. That's why you have a hit back. In case you didn't understand what I was meaning before, you guys come together, you have a relationship. When you're apart, you have other relationships. It's not like both of you or either of you is waiting for the other one to come back and you're like, you know, becoming, you know, you're taking on a second chastity or you're taking on a second virginity. No, you're both out there at some point dating other people, falling in love with other people, you know, hooking up with other people, however long, you know, you guys are separated. And then when you come back together, it's, oh, Jesus Christ, what is this? This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because what I'm feeling is exasperated. I'm feeling exhausted, not from the reading, but I'm channeling this energy from you or them or both of you. This is ridiculous. Why can't it work? Why does it never stick? It's possibly not meant to stick. But again, through those hits, those highs, that elation, that joy, that excitement when they come back around and you come back around. And it's like, oh man, it's like we never left each other's lives. And you fall in love all over again, or you fall in lust all over again. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe you think it's love, but it's lust. Whatever. And you keep doing this over and over and over again, and it's not supposed to be that way. One or both of you needs to snap out of it, like Cher and Moonstruck, pat right across your face, snap out of it, and realize that your compatibility, for whatever reason, is not what you think it is. Like I said before, some people call the Lover's card a soulmate card. If you've been with Jay for a while, if you've been with this channel for a while, you already know. Soulmates are not always lifetime partners. Soulmates do not always come in the package that we enjoy. Sometimes they come with a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems. But that kind of serves because all soulmates, no matter how good, bad, or ugly they are meant to teach you lessons. So maybe you need to learn a lesson about attachment or detachment. Maybe you need to learn a lesson about addictions. I don't know. This is just what I'm feeling. For you, you're detailed, what you understand about the situation, you apply that knowledge. Now, what else happens? You've been in this so long. You've spent so much time with this person in this life or other lifetimes. And some of you, maybe that's it. Maybe you're meant to realize that you have spiritual connection with this person, and maybe you have spiritual connection with others. Maybe some of you, or they, whoever it is, think that soulmates are forever. That's why I give that caveat, because I've had people come to me as clients and just people in my life. It's just like, I think this person is the one. Really? Why? Look how they treat you. Look how they behave. Look how they react to you. What makes you think that's going to be a lifelong thing, Barbara? Sean, whoever the hell you are. No offense to anybody. I'm not calling anybody out by name, clearly. And if you I don't have clients by those names. I'm not airing their dirty laundry here. But like, that's what this feels like. It feels like somebody here is possibly for the first time understanding that maybe my soulmate is my soulmate, but maybe my soulmate isn't my life partner. Those are not synonymous. Those are not equal exchangeable words. Right? And or someone may realize, oh, there are other soulmates. That's my personal belief. You can have many soulmates. The one and only, that's some fairy tale shit. Sorry if that's your belief, but in my opinion, that's fairy tale. That one person in a romantic sense specifically is your soulmate? No ma'am, no sir. That's just my opinion. You do not have to agree. You may make up your own mind about it. But this Wheel of Fortune is indicating to me, secondary major arcana for Sagittarius here. You may be dealing with a Sagittarius or not at all. But this is indicating to me that you've been around the clock with this person, around the world, and 10 or 15 times around the world, and maybe even more than that with this one person. Now, when I say with this one person, again, I could be talking about somebody that you've known for 20, 30, maybe even 5 years. And if you're on and off in like 5 years, that's ridiculous. Like, that's that's the fastest merry-go-round there is, right? But if it's not, again, not in this singular lifetime, you've been around the block with this person somewhere before in another place and time. Okay? And if that's the case, because you have two cards here, I already know what's down here. So you have two cards here that are going to indicate you might have karmic ties with this person, which explains why they would be a soulmate to you. And those karmic ties need to be rectified, need to be resolved, need to be, set straight. I don't know what your storyline is. We all have different details to our lives now. And if you believe in reincarnation, if you believe in multiple lifetimes, you would have different details or specifics to what happened then and there. You know what I mean? So I don't know what that is. You could do work to kind of open that up. Maybe try, this is, these are just suggestions. You have to find what works for you. Maybe work with a past life regression therapist or hypnotist or reader, right? So you can research that. You might want to research, if you're looking for more of a spiritual angle, you might want to research some things about maybe what Hindus or Buddhists say about multiple lifetimes, right? And how there's a whole thing. and that's why I'm like just mentioning it, because I don't really know much about it. So you might want to research it that way. You could research it through possibly the Akashic records. There's plenty of different theories that talk about reincarnation or multiple lifetimes or multiple planes of existence. You know, you might feel like I've never been anyone but myself before, but if you think about planes of existence, 3D, 5D, 6D, 8D, all that kind of stuff, or even maybe not lifetimes here on Earth, or being a human, you could have been a Palladian, you could have been all these other types of beings across the universe. But that's what this feels like. And because this is a Sagittarian card, or associated with Sagittarius, it then extends to ninth house energy, right? And ninth house is about exploring, philosophies about life, bigger pictures, understanding something from a wider scope or a bird's eye view, right? Sort of having your position up in the clouds so that you can look down towards the ground and see from, this higher angle and understand what you're looking at. You know what I mean? Which again goes back to this idea of the hangman, expansion, or enlightening yourself, or becoming enlightened and realizing things that you didn't realize before. Now, finally, okay, thank you. And I say finally because I feel I've been talking very generally, and I'm not getting any details other than there's a deep connection between you and another person, and either one of you is addicted to the other. And it keeps coming around and around and around, and it never really closes up. It never really gets to an end point. And I feel possibly, this is just a possibility for some, it's not going to resonate for all of you. The difficulty or the lesson that needs to be learned is one about reciprocity. I think I said this. Some of these people, like, they don't choose you. That's where I said it, down in the Lovers in reverse. They don't choose you. You constantly choose them. And you're kind of like, well, if they don't choose me, how come they keep coming back? Because you offer. You make yourself available, do you not? You hit them up, they respond, that's the green light for you. And if they, regardless of their gender, regardless of your relationship type, if they're a user, quote unquote, which for many of you they are, and user is another word for addict, right? If they're a user, they're going to come and see you. They're going to come and spend time with you. They're going to come and sleep with you. They're going to come and tell you that they have these feelings for you, but then act differently or ghost you in a couple of weeks or whatever it is. And that is cyclical. You have 3 cards in this top line that talk about cycles and or reciprocity. What is given and what is received. Or given and taken, right? Give and take, give and take, give and take. And some of you are giving, and the person is taking, and that's the end of it. And to have any type of solid, substantial, and beneficial or healthy relationship, it can't be that way. It's a one-way street with this person. Or if it's a one-way street with you, Cancer, you know what side of the story you're on. Take your pick. So what I think is going on here is with the Six of Pentacles, and it's not for everybody. So if you're like, no, we actually both always choose each other. It's just life gets in the way, or, they change, whatever it is. And whatever. At some point, something isn't fair. At some point, something is imbalanced. At some point, someone is overgiving and someone is taking more than they should. And that tussle, or that, here's what it is. It's 2 ways. If a relationship, in theory, is meant to be 50-50, this is imbalanced because most of the time someone's giving 70 and the other person gives 30, right? That's a problem because someone is compensating for the other person. And that is, that's not fair to both parties. Because, to a certain extent, the person that's overgiving is not only being taken advantage of, they're also conditioning the other person to kind of not take responsibility, right? Whatever. Another way you could view that is, instead of being 50-50, let's say somebody gives 60%, but that same person who was giving 30 when it was 70 continues to give 30. So you've got 60 from one person coming in and 30 from the other. You're missing a whole 10%. To make it a full 100, right? So there's this cap. Thank you. There you go. That goes back here where you don't know where you stand with this person. And I told you before about the King of Cups. He doesn't reveal a lot of what he feels. He feels the feelings, but he doesn't say the feelings. He knows what he feels. Deep love, connection, Maybe he does feel you're his soulmate, or she's your soulmate, or whoever this is. But have they ever expressed that to you? Nope. Would they ever? Probably not, because they're capped. If you need 50-50 in a relationship, maybe someone's top speed or the most they could give is 30. That's it. I need you to get it up to 60 miles an hour here, Bill. I need you to rev up that engine, Erica. Whatever the names are, right? Whoever I'm talking about, friend, family, lover, I don't care. And all they can do is do a top speed of 30 miles an hour. What are you going to do with that? World. End it. I'm not telling you to do that. This is what the cards are. You can do what you want. It's your life. But the world card talks about cycles ending. You've gone around the world more than once with this person, more than once in other lifetimes. What else is there to learn here? Now, if you have karmic ties with a person, soulmate bonds with a person, and that's the thing. I'm not saying this number one to be a bitch, and I'm not trying to say this as if it's so easy. It's not. If you have a deep relationship with a person and a deep connection with a person, a deep feeling of love and affection towards them and them towards you, it's not the easiest thing to just say, okay, well, this is over with. I'm done with it, blah, 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 blah. I understand. I'm sympathetic to that. But that's what this is saying. Perhaps that's the lesson to learn. That maybe love is not equal. This is just something I'm just spitting out right now. I've never really contemplated this before. But maybe love is not equal. Or the love that you experience with this person is not equal, right? And if that's what your goal is, if that's what you desire, if that's what you feel you deserve, equal love, equal give and take, equal effort, but this person tops out at 30 when you need 50, and on days where you're struggling, where you want to put in 30, they need to be able to up their game to 70. But if they can never break past 30, what's the point? And if you're looking for that dream of happily ever after, it's not with this person. And some of you are like, but they're my soul. Again, but they're my soulmate. They're my soulmate. You have others. You have others. And perhaps this soulmate's lesson or their purpose in your life is to teach you that lesson, that not all love is equal. Not all people can distribute and exhibit love the same way that you do, or he does, or she does, or they do. Right? We all have our ways of expressing love, of being able to reciprocate love, and some of us do a fantastic job of it. Some of us do too much of it. Like I said, someone here might be overgiving with the Six of Pentacles. Doing way too much, going above and beyond. And again, I said that earlier. Some of you might not even, and maybe it's not you, maybe it's them, so please take it all with a grain of salt. Please don't be insulted. But someone here might not even know what love is. They think they know, but they don't. Right? Because if love is, again, theoretically, this is just something I'm saying in this moment, if love is meant to be equal, someone doesn't know that lesson. If they're not breaking past 30, and maybe they can't. Maybe that's their lesson to learn. I've lived 30 years on this planet, 28 years on this planet, 76 years on this planet, and I never really gave as much of myself to another partner as I could have. So that would be for them to work out and get to the bottom of in this lifetime or the next, or the next, or the next, or the next, however long it's going to take them to learn that lesson. But right now in this reading, Cancer, somebody here is meant to learn a lesson and wake up to that shit. I'm assuming it's you. You're the person I'm doing this for, but it is a general, so it can be flipped. Outcome, 10 of Cups. So some of you are like, okay, yay. It ain't them. It's you. It ain't them. It's you. What the hell? What am I talking about? 10 of Cups is happily ever after. 10 of Cups is that most idyllic, beautiful sense of love and affection and connection with a person or with like a family dynamic. But guess what? You can get this by yourself, or you can get this with someone else. Some of you have it painted in your head exactly who this person is. It's not them. And I'll give you a little sliver of hope. It's not them right now. It's not them right now. If you're on this journey of waking up and considering, like I said in the beginning, this hangman, and considering what's going on with the King of Cups, how do I feel about this person? What am I going to do with this person? What's the quality of this relationship? Blah, 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 blah. If you're doing that work and they're just sitting by twiddling their thumbs, they're not ready. They're not ready. If you can sit here and own, I'm giving too much or I'm taking too much, I'm not being reciprocal in this relationship, perfect. You're learning your lesson. Don't try to repeat this. Listen, don't repeat the same grade with a person if they, you know what I mean? Don't let this person or any person stop your trajectory, stop your progress towards this happily ever after. You can have this. It could be with that person if they wise up, if they start to become enlightened, if they start to consider the things that they need to consider and understand about themselves, understand about their own journey, spiritual or not. Could just be psychological. Maybe they literally are, like I said before, addicted to sex, addicted to love, addicted to whatever. Or they just have addictive personality disorders, right? Which, again, you crave the high, you crave the hit of being in love. But once the, hey, who's going to pick up the kids from school pops in, hey, there's a load of laundry that needs folding, hey, I have cramps, please go by the store and pick me up some Midol. Once all that humdrum regular shit that happens in relationship kicks in, that person fucking hits the door. So again, I don't know what the quality is in this relationship. I don't know who is who, where you're cast in here. But if you want this, you can have this. And if it's with another person, what's the problem? Some of you are fixated on it has to be him or her. It does not. It does not. Because the main, I mean, I've been saying this since like middle school. And I've never understood this about people. And maybe that's something for me to wake up to or grapple with. I don't know. But I never understood why people have an ideal partner, like a specific partner. Like I get the inclination because you meet someone and you really, really like them and you hope it's them. But if it's not going to be them and you still want that dream, go do that dream. You know, and that's part of manifestation, all that stuff. So I feel like someone here is limiting themselves by saying it has to be her. It has to be him. It has to be them. It does not. You can get all that by yourself. You want a happy family? You can have that. You can have your children and raise them by yourself. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's what you have envisioned your entire life. I'm not saying that's what you want in this moment, but go about doing that business. Make a happy home for your kids. Make a happy home for yourself. Make a happy home for you and your pet turtle named Terry. I don't care. And then if the right partner is to exist, is to be manifest in your life, they will come up. They will be there. I don't know why I'm so sassy with you guys. I don't know why I'm being like kind of staunch or a little rough with you guys, but like this, and again, I think I'm like channeling the frustration of someone. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But anyway, your overall energy is the Ace of Swords. So maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe that explains why I'm being so rough. Because there's some really strong truths, some really strong realizations and honest discussions that you need to have or that you need to be open to, Cancer. You might need to be honest with yourself. You might need to be honest with this person. I can't keep doing this with you. I can't keep, going around this merry-go-round with you every couple of months or every few years or every couple of weeks, whatever the hell it is. Like, it hurts me. It tires me out. It frustrates me. It's not my truth. That could be also what's going on because you do have this 10 of Cups in your outcome. That could be what you want. Does that person want that? Or are they just saying that to keep you nice? Do you really want to get married? I want to get married. He or she might go, I do too, but it's just so expensive. Says who? Says who? The actual institute of marriage, if you really, really want it, is not that expensive. You take yourself down to the county clerk's office, take yourself down to the sheriff's office or whatever the hell your municipality does marriages, couple $100, boom, you're married. That's it. Pay for the license, boom, you're married, done. It doesn't have to be tens of thousands of dollars. So that's an excuse. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but then, we got to do this and we got to buy a house. All this like excusing of why it can't go to that level. This is just an example, by the way. And if that's what you want happy family, you want that traditional marital bliss, and this person doesn't want it, your truth is, I want that. And their truth is, I don't really want that. That is listen, you might be compatible now, or for some reason, but that I feel your compatibility is really so that one of you or both of you, more likely both of you, need to learn a lesson. That's why you keep coming back together. That's where the compatibility is. I'm going to leave it at this. That scenario or that analogy that I used about summer school, it could be like going to summer school with a friend. And you might be able to study together, where you know the math questions, they know the science questions, or they're really good at the science portion and you're really good at the math portion of why you guys keep repeating these grades. If you can exchange knowledge with that person, become tutors to one another, teach each other, like mutually be teacher and student to each other and swap roles, you should be able to go back to the school year the next time around after having studied over the summer together and pass the grade and move on with your lives. That's it. You know, Cancer, I don't know why I'm so hype about this. Cancer, that's your reading. If you liked it, the like button is down below. By the way, I'm not a Cancer. I don't know any Cancers, so I don't know where the hell this is coming from. But anyway, if you liked it, like button's down below. You can leave a comment. Let me know how this resonated in your life. If you want to share the video, feel free to share it. And subscribe to the channel, friends, if you have not subscribed yet. Cancer, I will be back soon to do your mid-October reading. Again, if you want a reading from me, you can find that information down in the description box below, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care.